All right. So this is the bender, the bender file, articulated bender from Thingiverse, and the file consists of these 21 separate STL files that you see over here. All right. And Bender has accessories. You can see he's got what is that? That's his beer bottle there, and his top hat, and then the rust uh, beard, I guess you call that, the rust beard. Okay, so that's Bender's accessories, and so that was the file that I downloaded, and I did no support. I did do an adhesion layer, so I did have a little bit at the bottom there for it, so everything would stick. This was 3 different prints because I didn't get all the prints. I didn't get it all the first time. I just printed what was on there, and as I seen what was there, I started to realize, what was going to be needed to build the bender, and I realized it was going to need some extra prints. So I wound up having a couple of prints after that to make up for the things that I missed in the previous prints, and that's where we're at right here now. And I have isolated what is needed from this just to build the bender with a couple of the accessories. All right, so you can do them all, but it's like extra heads, and I'm not sure. There's this one that he calls it the I'm gonna get it right. The head jar, and let's see. Here it is. Here's the head jar, and I printed it. The head jar. I have not a clue what the head jar is for. Not a clue. So I printed it because it was part of the thing. But once I got things going, I was like, "What is that for?" Not a clue. And there was another one that I found to be problematic, and then I figured out what's going on with it. I'll open that one up too. All right. So this one is called leg angle 2, and whenever this hits the build plate, it actually hits the build plate with this slight tilt that you see here at the bottom of it. It actually has that, so it builds a little extra support underneath it to make up that difference there. And we straight up didn't notice that at first because these are pretty small pieces, and so that little itty bitty angle there was creating all this extra garbage, like infill down here. And these didn't turn out so well on this particular model, which I don't think it really mattered because uh, they don't necessarily have to be angled. I wound up and just printed a bunch of extra other ones too. But I'm currently printing one that's 250% larger than this one, and I corrected this angle on that. It was noticeable whenever everything was increased in size. It was noticeable, and so I fixed it there. And hopefully the leg angles will print a little better with a little bit less garbage, and they'll print cleaner, and everything will smoothly go into and snap into its pieces. So there's that one right there, and don't need that one there. So okay, so there's all these files, and it equated to all these pieces, and I got a few extra pieces over here that I'll kind of mess with here at the end. But everything that's over here is what I've deemed necessary to build the bender. All right. And with a couple of accessories. So you got the beer, the cigar, and the top hat. The top hat here. So there's a beer, a cigar, and a top hat here. So I'm just going to start here, so the eyes are separate. The eyes come separate. So I'm just going to start here by putting the eyes on. You get two separate heads, one with a hole and one without. And I went ahead and printed two sets of eyes. All right, so that snapped into there just fine. All right, and this is the one with the hole. And then I'm going to hold on to this one. This is the one I want to keep. So I'm going to put this over here by the head. And then here's the other one, the one without a hole. And I already snapped the eyes on that one. So it's got an extra head, one with a hole, one without a hole. And this came with a file. It just came that way. So let's see. The next thing I'm going to do is take the torso, and you'll notice that the torso, the little door works. So he can put his beer in there. He can store his beer and his stolen booty in there. All right. And there's a spot for two of these little pegs down here. These little connector pegs. And the leg ones are supposed to be the angled ones, but those kind of printed roughly. And so I just vetoed those. I'm going to try to shove these regular ones up in here and see what happens. And well, this is one of those angled ones. But see, the problem with it is that because it didn't print right, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but it kind of boogered this up because of the way it was down there, and it's not very round because of that. So whenever I go to put the next piece in there, there's no way you're getting the. I mean, it's like cut off over here at the edge. It's kind of squared off, and at the bottom there it's squared off too. So that was why I vetoed those. But there's a couple of them still in the mix there because I printed several copies of these things. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get that in there. Wow. So this is PetG. And hopefully it does not break whenever I shove on it too much. This is much stronger than PLA, but he's hollow. There it went. All right. So there's one leg. And I'm going to attach another leg. So just put that right over the top here. And see what I'm doing here. I'm going to put it further up here so I can see it. But, oh man. Yeah, that's how much it takes. That's how much it's pushing on there. I did push the door in by accident though. Let's see. I got a pin or something I can poke it back out with. It's actually got a hinge built in that printed on it. Let's see if I can open it up. It's a pretty cool model. See that? It's got this hinge that goes up in there. So this is PetG, and it's metallic PetG, so it looks very Bender-esque, right? All right, so now I've got just a base in, and the only problem I had was with those leg angles. That was the only thing I thought that I really had problems with. Everything else I think did pretty well. So I got that in there. I'm going to go ahead and stick together his legs, and it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, either 4 or 5 chunks to his leg. I'm gonna grow this a little bit just so I can. It's either 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm gonna put four together first and see how long it looks. And again, I'm just trying to stick these things down on top of each other. And this PetG is very durable. If you haven't messed with it before, it's a lot better than PLA if you're used to that. So there's 4 of them. All right, that's reasonable. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and match the other leg here. Wow, these fit tight. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and do another one on both of those because I have them made, so I might as well. This might be extra, I don't know. Oop. So that will be 4 little bendable pieces there because they move just a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but they are rounded and fitting inside each other. So there's that. And then it has to go into this. All right, that went into that. And this one has to go into that. Uh-oh. Straight in, come on. There we go, that snapped on in. Okay, so now I'm gonna put him on his feet. All right, he's got 2 feet. There's 1 foot. There's 2 feet. All right, so, you know, he's a little bow-legged. That's all right. I think I might put another one in there just to give him a little more flex. Can I? Is that possible? Ooh, is that PLA going to survive all that? Let's see. I'm sorry. This is PetG. PetG. All right, we're going to add 1 more to each side here. There it is. Now I'm going to put the feet back on. There it went. It was a little bit easier that time. So you're not going to do that too many times before it becomes too loose. So there he is. There he is. All right. Now he stands there. Okay. All right. So I already have an arm that I built because I was messing around with it. Uh-oh. I don't know if there's a... I feel like it should just like everything else. Is that it? Maybe. All right. Hopefully I can get this back on there. Where it went. Okay. Oh, it's very easy to cave that door in. Something to be aware of. And I knocked those nuggets off too. All right. So, but it seemed like it went back on all right. Hopefully that'll be okay. Surely it will be okay. Oh, yeah. This is definitely. There we go. So there he is. Got his arms and his legs, and I caved his chest in again. Let's pop his chest back out again. It's really easy to push that through the wrong way. There we go. Especially when you're trying to squish things together. So now we are at the head. And the head that I've chosen has a hole in it built in for his cigar. Although it's very tight. Yeah, that's just over tight at this point. I'm not really sure that I can I can fit that in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we'll skip the cigar for the moment because I may have to. I'm not sure if the cigar was supposed to go in there or not. I mean, it's so tight, like I can't get it into that hole. There's just no getting it in there. I'll either have to drill the hole out a little bit or file a little bit off of this plastic, just or sand it off just a little bit. It could be that that's what's going on there too. So that's okay though. For now, we're gonna move along. I got the antenna that just pops right back on there. So now he's got his antenna. All right, and there he is. There's Bender. There's Bender. His head moves around. He should have a cigar there, but it's not fitting. But this does. Check this out. His beer. He can hold his beer. All right. And his top hat fits even with his antenna. And I got this camera down just a little bit too far. There we go. So there he is. And I imagine that this is supposed to go in there, but it's just a little bit. It probably just a little bit of. It just probably just needs a little bit of sanding on this cigar to fit in there, in that hole. But that's I think that's where we're at. I might just go make that happen real quick. I do have a piece. Can't imagine it's taking very much. It's probably just a little bit of out of shape or something to fit into there. A little bit of extra material because everything else fits so tight. So imagine that something be just a little bit too tight. Okay, so there it is. See what it looks like. See if that did anything. Sure did. So there is Bender, the little Bender from Thingiverse. And it also had a head with it that has no hole there's no hole in this one. And it also, with the hole, I could have put the beard on him, the rust beard instead. I think it came with a girder, or a beam, but the beam um, that actually got knocked off the plate while it was printing, so that didn't actually print. Whenever I printed that, and it was just an accessory that I was like, if I really want it that bad, I'll go back and print it again. But yeah, there's a unbendable beam that's all bent up you could have printed with it too. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Real easy. I didn't have to put a whole lot of effort into making this work. I just drop those files into the slicer software, kind of spread them around a little bit, and told it to print. And I shouldn't say that. I told it to add the adhesive layer that seems to help the print. So I had it do that, and then I told it to print. And then I went back and told it to print the ones that I'd missed, the extra little egg segments, and I didn't have enough of all that stuff, so I had to go back and print all that. And I pretty well took care of it. And now you see I got this little bender here. Got a little hair on him, could be cat hair, but the metallic PetG looks really good on Bender, and he does indeed have a shiny metal ass down here. You can see that he's got a nice shiny metal ass down there. There we go. And he's got his top hat with antenna. So yeah, yeah. If you're into those things, this one prints real nice, real neat. It'd be cool on a desk, I'm sure, because that's where it's headed. Oh, the list. So I'm gonna put Bender over here for a minute. So here we go. The beer can, one cigar, one set of eyes, 2 feet, two hands, one head, one leg angle two. I'm sorry, two leg angle two, but make sure to shift those just slightly so that they sit flat, because that's the only one I had to adjust. That's the only adjustment I had to make on the slicer file. 16 of those other ones, the other links, and 2 of the shoulder twos, one antenna, one torso, one top hat. So that makes what you see here, that's this guy right here, a one complete bender with his beer and his top hat and his cigar. And then if you like, it does come with a girder, an unbreakable girder that you can print. And then also the file came with the rusty face. So yeah, pretty cool. Thanks to the dude that kudos to the dude that did this, because it looks great and prints great. So good work.